Hey, it's Chris Miles. This week's episode of New on Music Row features songs from artists from Washington, Mississippi, Alabama, California, and Tennessee. Stick around. You don't want to miss all the details coming up in this week's episode in just a little bit right here on the Rise Network. Hey, it's Chris Miles. Welcome to this week's episode of New on Music Row. Going to jump right into it because we've got a lot of stuff to do, and I've got a couple of big artists, big up-and-coming artists to talk to you about this week, and I want to make sure we get enough time to, kind of highlight them, shall we say. So looking at the picks from last week, Love That I Love You from Russell Dickerson landed at about 456,500 streams. Looking pretty good for Russell. He's the guy that's got it all, right? I mean, he's got the girl, he's got talent, he is a he is a phenomenal songwriter. And Love That I Love You, another one that's, I don't know if it's going to be number one for him, but it probably will be. Heard It in a Country Song was the song he released right before that. Check that out as well. That one's got a nod to like all kinds of 90s country songs. Moving on, Peace, Loving Cowboys from Lainey Wilson landed about 519,000 streams, pretty much right where we thought she was going to land. But Walker Hayes beat her out this week. Surprise, surprise. I guess Fancy Like and AA were enough to kind of catapult him above her. Walker Hayes with Song for My Son landed at about 533,000. It could also be the subject matter for that song because it's really, really heartfelt as well. Moving on, we had Wind Blows from Braxton Keith, landed at about 187,000 streams. Braxton's one of those up-and-coming stars. You may have seen him on the Country Thunder Tour this year, but in the next couple of years, he's going to be a household name, kind of like some of these other people we feature on this show. And then last but not least, my feature spotlight, or my spotlight rising star spotlight, I should say, from last week, Jordan Harvey with Hearts on Fire. He's, from Scotland, so not a lot of people know him. Hopefully this program will kind of introduce you to him and increase his popularity. The song from him, Hearts on Fire, landed at about 31,000 streams. So if you haven't heard it yet, go take a look at it. Go take a listen to it. I think you're going to like it. It's a little on the poppy country side, but you know what? His voice and just some of the lyrics in all of his songs, actually, it's something you want to check out. I'm sure it's going to resonate with you. It resonated with me, and I'm not a big poppy like country guy. So there you go. That's the 5 picks from last week. Let's jump right into the 5 picks from this week, featuring a guy who is on a skyrocket to superstardom, Zach Top. Of course, from Sunnyside, Washington. Rolling Stone has called him the hottest act right now. And of course, he's got some deep country roots, or the deep country roots feel to his music, I should say. When You See Me is the title of the song from him. That's going to be landing on your radios probably this week. If you haven't heard Zach Top, well, then maybe you're new to country music. Make sure you check out Good Times and Tan Lines. That's his last hit. Amazing song. I Never Lie, the one that kind of got me into him and made me realize, yeah, you know what, this guy's got something here. Sounds Like the Radio. I mean, great song from him as well. Beer for Breakfast. Who doesn't do that, right? You've done it once or twice. I have. Yeah, anyway. All right. And then, of course, Bad Luck. All great songs from Zach Top to check out in case you haven't heard of him yet. Of course, moving on, Bro Country, with a nod to the country music that took over in, let's just say, the late 2000s. And then kind of lasted a little bit longer than some of us would like to. Bro Country from Hardy, featuring Ernest, coming out to the radios this week. Philadelphia, Mississippi is where Hardy is from. I don't think Hardy needs much of an introduction. I mean, he's pretty much a superstar. Did you listen to Bottomland when we featured it a couple weeks? You've probably heard One Beer, Given Heaven Some Hell, Wait in the Truck, which was a song that kind of put him on the map for me. And then Truck Bed, which followed it up right after Wait in the Truck. And, of course, Lainey Wilson on Wait in the Truck as well there, too. Lainey, of course, featured in last week's top 5 picks. Next, we got a guy from Jacksonville, Alabama, Riley Green's Trying to Make It Rain. Will he do it? Well, we'll see next week on the program and find out where everything lands. Don't Mind If I Do was the last song that was released from him. Worst Way, of course, probably the biggest hit for him. Different Round Here. Check and make sure you check out Grandpa Never Died. Then there was this girl, and then I really have gotten into When She Comes Home Tonight lately. It's got a Worst Way feel to it. But, check it out. And then also check out his Midtown Session EP. A lot of great stuff on there as well, too. And a different feel for Riley, too. The next pick for the week, Fire in the Sky from Ashley Ryan. She's from Corona, California, but now transplanted to Nashville. She's living in Music City. Some great songs to check out from her. Hush, Little Baby. That's the one that kind of put her on the map. I think it got like 15 million streams on TikTok alone. It's social media all the way around, basically. And then Far Too Gone. Pretty good song from hers. One Tractor Mind. That's the one I like because it's kind of like one tractor mind, right? Get it? Okay. Yeah, it's a dad joke. I know. It's just me. And then last but not least, check out Reload. That song's got me in the feels, if you know what I mean. Last but not least, Emily Ann Roberts got a great song coming out this week called Jack and Jill Daniels, rather. And I think you're going to enjoy it as well. It's got a little playfulness to it. You take a listen to it and tell me what you think. She, of course, is from Knoxville, Tennessee. And she's also the featured artist of the week for the Spot. So we'll talk a little bit more about her in depth in just a few seconds here. But let's take a look at that 5 picks for the week. When You See Me from Zach Top, Broke Country from Hardy featuring Ernest, Make It Rain from Riley Green. I'm pretty sure he will make it rain in one way or another. Fire in the Sky, Ashley Ryan, and then last but not least, Jack and Jill Daniels. I personally love that song the most out of all of them from this week. From Emily Ann Roberts. So there's your 5 picks of the week. Let me know what you think. Send some comments in the comment section. Let me know if there's something else you want to talk about. Other things, other artists you want me to take a look at. Last week we featured a group out of England called the Shires. Did you give them a listen? Did you fall in love with them like I did? Yeah. That's what the show is all about. Introducing you to acts that you may or may not have heard of, and hopefully giving you a new taste of different acts in the country music world. Speaking of that, Emily Ann Roberts is this week's Spotlight on the Rising Star, or the Rising Star Spotlight, as I like to call it. She's from Knoxville, Tennessee. You probably saw her on The Voice. I think it was season 17. She was a runner-up, and she was only 17 years old when she was on it. Season 9, sorry. She was 17, but it was season 9 that she was on. And she did some performances with Team Blake. You probably remember Blaming It on Your Heart and Why Not Me. Those all charted on Billboard Hot Country charts as well. Now, she went back to high school after she was done with The Voice, and she doubled up on her career there to pursue music. And then after The Voice, she basically just followed her music career, spoke to her high school principal, like I said, doubled up in classes to graduate early. And then she also attended her senior prom. So this girl has got that gumption, as we like to call her, where, she's out there to do her thing. And proving them so much so in 2024, so just last year, she voiced Trixie St. Clair in the reimagined Country Bear musical Jamboree at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. And then as Trixie, she performed the song Try Everything. So this girl's doing it. She's making her career. She's doing the things she needs to do. She was inspired by her church roots. She grew up in a small church where her great-grandfather was the pastor. And she basically says the church raised me up to be the woman that I am today. And I think you can see it in some of her songs as well. She's had a ton of Grand Ole Opry appearances. She played the Grand Ole Opry last year, 2 years ago, 2003. By that point, she had played it 16 times already. So, like I said, this girl is a firehouse, a powerhouse as well, too. She's not messing around. She wants to make a thing for herself, so much so that she married her high school sweetheart in November of 2020. Literally just checking all the things off, checking all the boxes off, making sure her life is set, everything's in order. She's got the family support that she needs to get through her career. She's doing the things that she loves to do. She's featured in voice. She's doing voiceover work for Disney. And here's the other cool thing about her. She crochets, and she posted on YouTube. So, she shares videos there of her doing her crochet work on YouTube as well, too. So if we ever get her in the studio and we do an interview with her, I'm pretty sure that when I ask her the question, what do you geek out on? She's probably going to say crocheting. So there you go. So she's got 7 things going on at once. And I mean, if that doesn't tell you that she's a powerhouse, then listening to her songs will. Like I said, this week we featured Jack and Jill Daniels from her for the top 5, the 5 picks of the week. So make sure you check that out. That's out, available now, Spotify, and also you've probably been hearing it on some radio stations, maybe in the bigger cities. Maybe if you're living in a smaller city, you may not hear it for another couple of weeks. But I'm sure within the next couple of weeks here or so, you're going to be listening to it, whether you listen to it on Spotify or Apple Music, which is also where you can stream and listen to this podcast as well. We're on Spotify and Apple Music as well. But check out some other songs from her. He Set Her Off. This is from Emily Ann Roberts. Whole Lotta Little, which is the song that's on repeat for me this week. Actually, there's two of them. She's got another one. It's called The Fence. And I'm not on the fence about her, as you can tell, because I've featured her in the Rising Star Spotlight. But, you know, it's a great song. And she's just got some great stuff, great songwriting, great, skills. She's got an amazing voice. And she's a powerhouse. So, again, check out all these songs from her. Check out Emily Ann Roberts. Do yourself a favor. She is the Rising Star Spotlight of the week here on New on Music Row. And you know what? It doesn't get any better than that. So check her out. I think you're going to enjoy her just as much as I do. Moving on, let's take a look at birthdays. Born on this date, 1939. Of course, it's September 5th, 1939. In Akron, Ohio, a guy by the name of David Allan Coe. You've probably heard of his name. He's an outlaw country music singer and guitarist. He's also a songwriter as well. He's got a couple of hits. You probably never heard of him before. Would You Lay With Me in a Field of Stone? Yeah, that was covered by Tanya Tucker. You may not have heard that one. I'm sure you've heard this one, though. Take This Job and Shove It. Whether you've heard the David Allan Coe version or you've heard maybe the Johnny Paycheck version, I'm sure you've heard that song. Because I'm sure, just like me, if you're working a 9 to 5, I'm sure you have said once or twice with your 9 to 5s, you know what, take this job and shove it. And, it works, doesn't it? So happy birthday to David Allan Coe, of course, born on this date, September 5th, 1939. What's going on in country music history this date? Well, in 1969, a guy by the name of Johnny Cash was #1 on the U.S. country chart. He recorded a live concert given to the inmates of San Quentin State Prison. Have you heard that soundtrack or that album? You should listen to it. It's eerily good. The album spent 20 weeks at the top of the chart. It was nominated for a number of Grammys, including Album of the Year. It won Best Male Country Vocal Performance for A Boy Named Sue. So it's got some great stuff on it. And, it's San Quentin, right? And it's Johnny Cash. Let's be honest with each other. It don't get any better than Cash. There are some people out there who will probably have their opinions, but that's mine. It doesn't get any better than Cash. All right, moving on. 1979, Dolly Parton was #1 on the U.S. country music album chart with Heartbreaker, her 20th solo studio album. The title song, which is, of course, a ballad written by Carol Bayer Sager, topped the U.S. country charts and became Parton's third top 40 pop hit. So Heartbreaker, check it out if you haven't already. And then last but not least, we went really far back with the calendar this week, and we're going to stay there. There wasn't much going on in the last couple of years with country music. For it's the day after the weekend after Labor Day. People are just getting back into the swing of things and stuff like that. But on this date in 1981. Hank Williams Jr. did a good thing. He released a song called All My Rowdy Friends Have Settled Down. And it's from the album The Pressure Is On. The track gave him his 5th #1 on the country chart, and the phrase All My Rowdy Friends would later become a catchphrase of sorts for Williams, right? He would use it in 1984 for All My Rowdy Friends Are Coming Over Tonight, right? The football thing, right? And then Born to Boogie and All My Rowdy Friends Are Here on Monday Night. In 2011, of course, because remember when that was like the song that started Monday Night Football, right? It just got you into it, right? Anyway, that's a look at country music history on this date in, of course, September 5th, whether it was 1969, 1978, or 1981. So there you go. And of course, like I said before, if you want to do a birthday shout out, something like that, something special you want to, maybe talk about, maybe want me to send out a happy anniversary thing, we can do that as well, too, in that segment, too. Just hit me up on socials. We'll give you all the links and everything, either down below or, maybe in the captions and stuff like that. Moving on, the last but not least, the artist of the week, the weekly pick that I like to call it. It was a little hard for me this week because there's 2 artists that I featured in the 5 picks this week, and both of these artists are up-and-coming stars, and I was like, well, who do I feature here and who do I feature there? Well, Ashley Ryan was the one that I picked for this week for somebody I think you should pay a little more attention to, maybe give her a little bit more love, as we like to call it. She is from Corona, California, but she did move out to Music City. That was in 2018, so, she's on the right path as well. Maybe a little bit newer than, someone like Emily Ann Roberts, but for sure, I think this gal's got what it takes too, and I think she's somebody that you should put on your radar. Fire in the Sky is a song that we featured this week for the 5 picks. But take a listen to Hush Little Baby. Like I said, Far Too Gone, my favorite One Tractor Mind. Right, I did that on purpose, right? Because it's One Tractor Mind, but One Track Mind, you get it. It's a dad joke, right? And then also Reloaded. She grew up, in Corona, California, which, most people are like, country artists from Corona, California. You know what? We all have some sort of connection. There's some sort of way to speak about how, like, we can be genuine or we are genuine in certain things. And Ashley Ryan is another one of those artists as well. She's got some great talent for songwriting. She writes poetry. She plays the guitar. And, her love for music and her love for country music has kind of put her into the situation that she's in. She's very passionate about it. So much so that she actually had a chance to speak to Keith Urban at one of his tour release date parties. A quick dialogue with him, and it turned into the two of them doing a duet of Without You at a sold-out show at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. And it kind of went from there. Since then, Ashley has been playing live shows. She's been doing ride-arounds around the area, venues like Whiskey Jam, The Listening Room, and even Bluebird Cafe. And if you know anything about Music Row, those are the places to be when you're trying to get your career on the move, shall we say. She's great energy. She's got an addictive quality to her voice that I think is going to be one that's going to kind of grab you in as well. And like I said, Hush Little Baby was the first song that she released. Got over 12 million views on TikTok and Facebook. And it's because of that song that she was able to sign her record deal with Spinville. So check her out. She's this week's pick. I think you're going to enjoy her as well. Again, as always, if you have any comments, you want to leave those in the comment section for us below, please feel free to do us. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on all the social media platforms, also on Spotify and Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast as well. And we'll see you again next week for more great news and information right here on the Rise Network with New on Music Row. I'm Chris Miles. You all have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll see you on the flip side.